Welcome to the channel. Today is yet another talking corner, and as I promised, I'll talk about my opinion on the current state of the creative world, specifically the AI aspect, because I have feelings on it, good and negative. So let's get into that. So personally, I feel like AI has a lot to do. It can do some good. We used to use it for good reasoning. Nowadays, we use it to replace everyone that we deem unnecessary, which is kind of dumb to me because if you're anyone in the creative industry right now, artist, animator, web designer, anything like that, just anything that isn't physically done. And they making I know they very much making robots to get rid of people who do physical work as well. So I'm not surprised about that, because why would I be? I mean, they get rid of the rest of the workforce. Why keep the people that why keep everyone else around, right? But yeah, but on a serious note though, after that somber statement, uh I see the positives, and here's some of the positives that I see. It makes content creation slash everything else way more efficient. But when you start relying on, and by the way, this is gonna be a short one, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. But yeah, it's like if you start when you start relying on it, it's kind of just becoming a hindrance to your ability to grow as a person. Like, cause you see, the reason I love the creative side of the brain is because, unlike the knowledgeable side, it makes you throw yourself into like situations that you would rather normally not be in, if that's the best way to put it. And for anyone who, I'm pretty sure there's people out there who understand what I'm saying when I say that. But like, take for example art. An artist grows as an artist because they did the same pencil stroke, the same, they drawn the same face more than at least 50 times, because they want to get it perfect, right? And not, if not 50, about, what can I say, about 10 times. And then if they didn't get it correct, they either kept continuing to practice that one face, or they decided to go on and try something new because it wasn't working for them, which is perfectly fine. But my problem comes in the form of what happens when you teach that person's ability to a computer, right? And if that computer has the knowledge, is it going to take that knowledge and use it in the same way a human would? Not really, because a computer's brain function is limited to what the programmer puts in it. And yes, Chat GPT and all this other crap exists. And I'm very much against AI, video making, getting art ideas, all of it. If I see a generated artificially generated drawing or photo on anything, social media, Google, anything, and I know and it looks AI generated, I immediately click off of that, because like it's kind of stupid how you want to replace your ability to grow as a person with with a device that could easily replace you if you feed it too much of yourself. When I say easily replace, I don't mean like easily replace, because like I said, computers will never beat humans in the long run because they have a limit. Humans are have unlimited knowledge as long as they let themselves become knowledgeable over their years. But on the other hand, I don't have a problem with AI. No. Because like I said at the beginning, it depends on, how do I put it? It depends on the limitations we put on it. Like we don't, as like, for example, we just like use ChatGPT to come up with ideas. Yes, it still takes away some of the human side out of it, but once we get those ideas, we can then again transfer that information into, into something that for ourselves, not doing the whole process through a computer. Yeah, I want this one. I like that one too. I like that one more. That it's just funny to me how we'll just run straight to a thing that hates that I mean, I know I say I mean, I don't really script this stuff. I just say how I feel. I'm trying to think of the best way to put it without repeating myself. Uh, I'm just gonna put it like this. It's not the most beautiful in the world being replaced by a computer, but at the same time, you also learn how much people actually value you as a person. Awesome! I got a new unit finally. No, I didn't. That I already had this unit. Excitement over. But yeah, like, and I'm gonna use I know I used Enjoy in the last video as an example, but it also applies here. I hear that there is going to be AI used in that game to a small degree, but the moment I heard that, I immediately, other than the realism in the game that already drew me away from it, that is another thing that's already going to drive me away from wanting to even touch the game, because it has something I've already said I'm gonna stay away from. And this can go for every other game. Even before AI was used, I'll admit I already disliked modern games. Without even touching them, I could tell they are not made for someone like me who is avidly against everything what that the current gaming industry stands for. Now, if we want to talk about like other ways AI is being used other than taking away the game industry, let's talk about movies. Writing is also another aspect being taken away from humans. Another aspect in which we grow our knowledge as a people. Right, the writer's strikes, a very valid reason to do it, Like the writer's strikes have a valid point to exist because you're basically taking someone and saying, "Hey, your ideas suck. We don't need you to do anything else for us. We just want you to sign your life away saying, "Hey, you can use my work in whatever you want from now on because this contract says so." Which is why and that's not even just the writer strikes. I mean every strike going on in every industry like it. I wish we didn't have to do it. I like this. I'm gonna lock this unit. I wish we didn't have to do it, but sadly we do to have our voices heard. I myself won't be part of that because never been the type to do so. But for those who, and plus I've always been an independent artist, never been attached to any company. So I've been in the clear this whole time. Maybe if someone out there has been using my stuff, but like I said before, I don't really care as much. I know I've been seeing a lot of negatives, but most of the things are negatives, which is the sad part. Cause back then, and I mean back then, before like we glorified computers like they were our overlords or something, we actually had people being praised for their knowledge, you know? Yeah, like being praised for our knowledge was what gave creatives that drive, that I mean, it's the same thing for YouTubers. I mean, I know there's the people that just become YouTubers or do things to get to the feed their or their big ego they either born with or gained over time. But that's basically where I draw the line. Now, if your content is being used and you was already weaponizing it against people, it really shows that you aren't more important than everybody else. So that's why I say in that aspect, it's useful to get out to weed out the bad actors, but the good people who are just trying to get an honest living off being off doing what they love to do, that's when I kind of say, hey, like you can just slow down with that. Plus, I believe for the last few years we've been relying way too much on computers altogether. As you can see, I don't do digital art for this exact reason. I've always believed that traditional art, this is my personal opinion, is better because you have a better way to store away art. Yes, you need to make room in a room, or if you have way too much of it, you have to find a way to store it. But I believe it's worthwhile to store something away in a physical form because it actually gives you even more credibility if someone says, hey, they stole my art. You can actually show them the processes and you can describe the processes that you went through to make that thing in order to, do what you had to do. But when you do it on technology, you have to go through all these steps to protect your artwork. Like you have to like put some whatever software they use to poison their art so that if someone uses it in AI practices, it doesn't look like the thing that they thought they were stealing. And that's just extra steps when it comes to that. It really is just extra steps at the end of the day. When you could have just had made evidence, and I'm not saying everyone has to do it because there is people who cannot draw physical art like traditional art, but they're very good at digital art, which is fine. If that is their thing, there's nothing wrong with it. But it is good to have the chops of for whenever technology becomes unreliable to the world. I mean, you need to know how to write, you need to know how to read, you need to have the intelligence, you need to have something that technology can never have outside of what programmers give it. This is what I mean. This is the positives. Since I've been talking positive and negative, this right here is going to be the positive section. The rise of AI has actually made people realize we need more. We don't just need white collar jobs. No, we don't need those white collar jobs at the same time we do. What we need is more people, more creatives. We already had a lot of them, but like we need more people to become innovators. Reasons for people to just not use computers over living beings. Cuz living beings have more right to these jobs they're trying to veto out for living humans for computers, because I've already took a long time to explain this, but we can store more knowledge naturally. And programmers can't program us unless, obviously, the bad situations where people get controlled by others. And, well, let's just say it's not a good sign when you get controlled by others and let it happen and have no freedom of your own. But it really does force humans to become more creative than the thing that wants to become them. I mean, I'm going to pinpoint voice actors because they're the new target for this AI crap. Voice actors are starting to have to want people wanting them to sign contracts so that they can replace them with AI and use that and remix their stuff whenever they want to just put a voice into a character into these new AI movies being produced nowadays. And I've seen parts of some, because I don't really go to the movies anymore. Ever since crap movies started happening, I just stopped going to the movies altogether, really. I haven't been to an actual movie. The last movie I saw in theaters was Blue Beetle, only because, and I'm very biased about this, I like the movie because Blue Beetle is one of my top 5 favorite superheroes of all time, and anything he's in, I just have rose tinted glasses because I'll acknowledge it's not that the best of movies, but it's close to me only because I have bias. Kind of like how everything with, I'll say, my favorite hero of all time in my top 5 is Wolverine. When presented right, is good. But yeah, that's my standpoint. Like I said, as always, I was everywhere with what I was saying. I don't really say this stuff straight out, but that is the antithesis of what I wanted to say about AI. I'm saying more bad than good, but at the end, I stated this and I'll repeat it again. This age of humanity has made humans realize we need to do more than just do what the man most would put it as. I just say just society itself, but the man tells us to do, because we eventually need to start relying on our own bodies and selves for what we need in this life. Like, I'm starting to learn other things. Like, I'm getting back into dance. I'm learning how to make music. I mean, if you've seen heard any of my music, I still don't think it's that good. I think I can do better. But in this grand scheme of things, it's not a bad reality we live in right now. It's more like a reality that we just now need to understand what has become our new normal, which still isn't good by any means. But the new normal is pushing people beyond their limits and making them really have to think. But yeah, that is it's a funny conversation because like you can be on one end or the other and there'll still be that one person defend one side. They'll either be the good or the bad, but in the end, I'll be honest with you, I'm in the middle about it. I hate it, but I love what it has started in the world. So I can't really complain too much. Right now, I'm just trying to do this so I can have a better outro, to be honest with you. Uh, yeah, that was my opinion on AI. It's not a popular one, I know, because you eat. I know society loves to have people take sides. Yeah, I use the word society a lot, but that's just how I see things. Hmm. Let me do this and then I'll do see you all out. That being said, I hope you enjoyed this little perspective of mine. As always, have yourselves a wonderful. It's nighttime over here now, but for future proof, as always, have yourselves a wonderful day. And keep your heads up. You never know. Peace.